I hate to say it, but waking up early is everything it cracks up to be. You have a moment to yourself, you have time to get things done like your workout before work, and there's a reason so many productive people swear by waking up at 5 a.m. Sounds nice, but yeah, you're like, not happening, Keltie. Well, as a former bartender who used to sleep 4 a.m. to 10 a.m., who's now in my healthy era, and yes, wakes up at 5 a.m. every day, I've got 13 science-backed and sneaky hacks that you can use to become a 5 a.m. person. Even if you're like, no. Yeah, stay tuned. Tip number 1, watch the sunrise and sunset. According to the Sleep Foundation, melatonin is a hormone naturally made by the body which controls our sleep and wake cycles. When watching the sunset and being in darkness, the brain initiates production of melatonin. When exposed to sunrise and light in the morning, it slows or halts the production of it. So yes, you can go watch the sunrise and sunset, but if you don't have access to that, look at bright things in the morning, avoid them at night, and your body will just naturally produce melatonin in that way. Which leads me directly to tip number 2, use melatonin. Proceed with caution, but I'm going to give you guys a hack of how you can actually adjust your circadian rhythm to whatever you want. So using my jet lag hack, when I'm going overseas and have to adjust to jet lag, a week or 2 ahead of time, I start taking melatonin about 30 minutes before bed and slowly every day taking it a little earlier. And that kind of helps change the production of melatonin in my body, which helps me adjust to the new time zone. You can also do this just in your daily life. So use melatonin if you, for whatever reason, want to adjust your sleep cycle, slowly taking a bit earlier day and night. But warning, please see a professional. Melatonin is a very complicated thing. I hate that we just kind of throw it around like, oh, it's nothing, take melatonin every day. Do your own research. There's negative consequences of taking it every day unless prescribed by a professional for you due to sleep disorders. But as long as you're cleared by a professional and you realize this is like a temporary thing, that would be my recommendation. It's not like you'll take melatonin forever. This is just a 1 to 2 week way of adjusting your circadian rhythm. Now, if you're someone who does want to take something that helps you sleep at night, I like to take sleep supplements that don't have melatonin, that have things that improve my REM sleep, so I actually wake up more rested. For example, I love using AGZ. They have so many science-based things in it that help increase my sleep quality. Like I see it on my Oura ring. When I take it, my REM actually does go up. And no melatonin, because melatonin you want your body to produce naturally. These are things that like help your body optimize, is how I compare it, and that's why I love using it. And also, of course, AGZ is the new product of AG1, which I absolutely love because it helps me fill in the gap. Back to traveling. When I travel, I don't know what I'm going to get, and I know I always have a baseline in nutrition. And I'm going to be honest, it would be nice if we all could go get our blood work done every 2 to 3 weeks like Brian Johnson and know what ratio of every single supplement and nutrient we are deficient in, but the reality is we don't have the time or access to that. And so why I love using AG1 is just has a wide variety of nutrients, so I know I always get it. It also is your prebiotic, probiotic. It is definitely a premium supplement, but I really try and think of like, instead of having 7 supplements, I have 1 premium supplement combined all in one. I love the taste. I know it's weird, but I like mixing it with some milk and maple syrup and making it like a matcha. So instead of my matcha, it's like my green drink. I love romanticizing. It's delicious. I love it. And of course, I'm not going to talk about it and not give you guys a code. Through my link, get an AG1 flavor sampler and a bottle of vitamin D3K2 free in your welcome kit with your first AG1 subscription. Thank you, AG1, for sponsoring my videos and my morning routine. It's a part every day. Tip number 3, small intervals. If you suddenly go 0 to 100 and wake up like 2-3 hours earlier out of nowhere, you are jet lagged. It is the exact same as if you were to go a few states or provinces over, or if you're Europe countries, you are jet lagged. So do small intervals. Go to bed 10 minutes early for a couple days, then 15. Wake up 5 minutes earlier, 10 minutes early. And I think that is the biggest thing. I used to, waking up at 8 a.m. was a lot of work for me. And then at 7 a.m. seemed early. So I started waking up, and then eventually 6 and then 5. And so it wasn't like I was sleeping until 10 and then I went for 5. I became a 10 a.m. person, 9, 8, 7. So if you are a 10 a.m. person, give yourself some grace. It's going to take a little bit longer because you don't want it to affect your quality of sleep. And then what's the whole point of waking up early if you're miserable the rest of the day? Which leads me to tip number 4, improving your sleep quality. To wake up more rested and improve your sleep quality, you do not need an expensive, elaborate routine. Let's keep it simple. A good night routine that encourages good sleep involves lowering the lights, no bright light because of that melatonin production. Ideally, sleep in the dark. Science does agree that sleeping in a colder room improves sleep quality. And really, at the end of the day, just try to avoid things that raise your heart rate before bed. As long as you're doing those things, it will drastically improve your quality of sleep. Tip number 5, consider a nicer alarm. There's nothing worse than this sound. I mean, no one's going to wake up happy and be like, why would I do this to myself? So there's a few options. One, the free option is on iPhones, is a gradual alarm. One that slowly starts Do, 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 do. Like, so it's also option 2. If you want to pay some money, you can get something like a hatch alarm. There's dupes on Amazon and a sunrise. And so it will actually be the light that wakes you up like we would naturally. And then of course the luxury option, if you have the means, is an 8 sleep, which has like a vibration on there. I will say this is not sponsored. They have not sponsored anything in a long time, but if you have been interested in 8 sleep, I get no kickbacks. I believe I have a code, Keltie. I use it myself. So if you have been considering it, there's just save yourself some money. Tip number 6 is absolutely savage, and everyone else in the fitness community is going to say this is bad advice, but it works. Okay? It works. This is not health advice. This is you just want to start waking up at 5 a.m. Go out late dancing one night. Go out, party, stay up too late. You know, yeah, you lost a little bit of sleep. You're going to go to bed earlier and then ride that wave. You're going to go to bed earlier, so 8 hours of sleep. You're going to be able to wake up a bit earlier and ride it. And that is, if I'm being honest, that's how I did it. These are tips I've learned along the way, but this is actually how I became a 5 a.m. person. You're jeopardizing some sleep. It's not good for you. But if you're like, I got to go partying this weekend and I want to start waking up at 5 a.m., it's a hack. Proceed with caution, because when you're sleep deprived and you're driving, that is dangerous. So get an Uber that day. Tip number 7, actually find the time. Going to bed early to wake up early sounds nice, but guess what? We have chores, studying, responsibilities. So look at your night routine and think about what you can actually eliminate, but still account for a social life, recovery, time to yourself, adult responsibilities, even like account for the 30 minutes of guilt-free TikTok. That is fine. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong about enjoying little dopamine things, but just say, hey, am I scrolling on TikTok for 30 minutes or am I scrolling on TikTok for 2 hours? I have a video coming out that will help with this. So hit subscribe if you want to see that. And then yeah, take that out, make adjustments, and then hopefully you can go to bed earlier, which is half the battle to wake up earlier. Tip number 8, if you've been around on this channel, you know this is kind of my thing to do things like this. Bribe yourself. I have a habit tracking app. It's literally called Habit Tracking. Don't trust it. It is a really sketchy app. It had like 1 review. It could have all my data. So maybe just do this by pen and paper. But I really wanted to find an app that I could just put in my habits and it would just tally how many times I did it. And then once I get a certain amount of those tallies, I get a reward. So instead of saying like a streak and every time you fail at it, it's less of that. It's less of like, oh, failure, I've done so bad. It's just more of like every time you actually do it, you get a thumbs up. So every time you wake up at 5 a.m., every time you get 7 hours or more of sleep, you get 1 point. And then there's something you've been saving up for, that one like purse, that new pair of sports bra, maybe even just a bagel at a new place you want to try out. Say, once I get 10 points of this, I get to go treat myself to that. And so I have not had a purse that carries my camera in years. Just a YouTuber is problematic, and I just keep saying, oh, I'm not gonna get one until I get the one I really like, and then I just never get it. So I'm trying to get 7 hours of sleep, and so once I do 100 points of the 7 hours of sleep, I get to go get a purse of some sort. And it doesn't have to be financial things. It could just be like, I get a guilt-free 4 hours of scrolling on TikTok. Tip number 9, be aware of your caffeine cutoff time. You've probably heard it before about like cut off caffeine 8 hours before bed. And that is just a good, easy peasy, simple math. Do that because yes, caffeine has a half-life. So after you have it, it will be in your system for a couple hours. It'll make it harder to go to sleep. But this isn't so black and white. And I don't hear a lot of people talking about this. Caffeine elimination really varies. It can be 1.5 to 9.5 hours, even longer before it's eliminated from your body. It depends on your metabolism, your body size, the amount of caffeine you consumed. So it's not so black and white of 8 hours if you actually really want it to have effects. My recommendation is 1, try cutting off caffeine at 2 p.m. and then see how your sleep improves. Then try 1:30, try 3, like play around for a couple days and see what affects your sleep the most. Because I consume caffeine every day, so I don't want to cut it out completely. And 2 ways you can do that. 1, of course, get an Oura Ring, a Whoop, an Apple Watch. See, that's the best reason to have those kind of tech. You can see how little habits affect it. On option number 2, if you don't have that, is just pen and paper. Say I cut off sleep at 2 p.m. Next day, monitor your energy levels. Then try it at 1. Write how your energy levels were the next day and just like keep track of how your energy levels feel and also your ability to fall asleep, maybe how fast and easy it was for you to fall asleep. Tip number 10, have something to look forward to. Back to like caffeine being one of the biggest joys of the day. Knowing I have a cappuccino waiting for me every morning is what encourages me to go to bed. So yeah, just figure out something, and for a lot of us that is coffee, just figure out something you can have to look forward to. So when you're like doom scrolling at 9:30 p.m., you're like, I should be going to bed. You're like, oh, cappuccino waiting for me. And that's what gets me to hop into bed. So that's kind of bribing yourself, but on a smaller scale. Tip number 11, once again, a hack. is book a workout class. Book a workout class at 6 a.m. so you got to get your butt at 5 a.m. because there's money on the line. If I have a class book, I'm not wasting that money. And also the judgment of the front desk staff seeing me cancel that that will keep me accountable. So of course you can keep accountability with a friend, but I feel a nice little hack is a workout class. Shout out all my instructors who have seen me bail. Tip number 12, make fun morning plans. And this is something actually I think is going to become more and more prominent. Is like dawn culture is becoming a bigger thing. We're going more for brunch, daytime partying versus just like late night run clubs. My biggest thing, I want it like bucket list item. I've seen this all over social media. Target demographic reached is like the post-run bakery rave. What city is this in? It's a run club. They go to a bakery and they're raving at like 8 a.m. and that is everything I love. It is a run, it is dancing, it's raving, and it's baked goods, it's bread. It is everything I could possibly have, and it's not in my life. And find whatever you're passionate about to the extent I just had that little moment there, and do it in the morning. And so it's something to look forward to in the morning, and that will help encourage you to just have a ritual. So instead of maybe always planning 6 p.m. dinners with your friends, plan an early morning run, walk, go for brunch, something like that. And that's the biggest thing for me is my social life used to always be late. And me and a lot of my girlfriends are now early birds simply because we started doing things in the morning, as simple as that, to be social. And like reframing my mind that like social life doesn't have to mean sacrificing your sleep at night. Sometimes that's worth it, like I said. Raver. It's in me, it's deep in me. And she needs to be brought out sometimes, but within good reason. And tip number 13, figure out your sleep chronotype. Except that waking up at 5 a.m. might not be for you. I used to actually be a night owl, and it was because I played sports, so our games are always late at night. Of course, I bartended to get me through university, so that's how I was always staying up late. And even back then, I would do all my creative time when I was starting this YouTube channel late at night after work. So I'd work all day and then go and do this. I love something about those late nights, sultry, like you're kind of woozy and the world is quiet. It's kind of like an opposite feeling of the 5 a.m. And then over time, I realized that work I did at like 2 a.m. was absolute crap. I was the equivalent of being high. I'm gonna be honest. Like it was like, oh, this is such a good idea. And then you look at it after like, and I can't even remember what was the catalyst. I think I just read a book that said wake up early and I started waking up early. And I realized, oh my God, I'm so much more productive, efficient being a early morning person. But not every single person is like that. Lean into what works for you. There's 4 chronotypes. If you're a lion, you might thrive off an early morning start. If you're a wolf, waking up at 5 a.m. is the worst thing possible for you. And bear and dolphins, it's variable. But I'm gonna post the link right here. You can see Psychology Today has a resource. You can take these. Of course, I'm sure there's more like science-based reasons to do this. It's just a quick little quiz. And you really, at the end of the day, figure out what works for you through things like Oura rings or just monitoring what time goes to bed. Am I the most productive? Get the most work done. And that's all that matters. All these things you do not have to do. They're just ideas. If for whatever reason you think waking up at 5 a.m. will make you healthier, more productive, more social, and just be able to do all the things you want to do in a day. And give yourself some grace that it will probably take some time. At one point in my life, waking up at 8 a.m. was like, oh, I got up early. And then 7 a.m. I'm like, oh, that's crazy. And then 6. And it's a slippery slope because I'm like, I can't start being a 3 a.m. person. No, no. But I also want to debunk the 5 a.m. There's nothing that magical. It's at the end of the day, you just have the ability to get all the things done out of your way before work. Because for me, if I have to wait till after work, I'm drained. It won't happen. If I have to work out after work, I won't because I'm exhausted. It's been a long day. If I wake up in the morning, it energizes me to go to work and then provides me guilt-free hours in the evening to work on chores, hang out with friends and family, and just do all my other things that I don't need a ton of energy for. At the end of the day, as long as you have a consistent go to bed, wake up time, you feel rested, you're healthy, you have a social life, and ideally you're getting like 1% better every day, you're on the right path. You don't need to change this. This is me taking it away. There's nothing that magical at 5 a.m., but for a couple of you, it will change your life. And you don't know until you try. And I'm assuming you want to try because you watched this video. If not, thank you. I appreciate that. You watched something you knew you were never going to do just to be here. You are my favorite. But if you are a 5 a.m. person, if you're an early bird, my shift workers, maybe get some tips because of course if you work shift work, that's a whole different bucket of worms. So please comment down below, leave that. One of my favorite things about my channel is just how encouraging the comment section is. And there's always other tips people are giving. So you can weasel down there. And while you're on your way down there, feel free to pop a like on this video. It is always appreciated. And most importantly, actually, It's a great hack. Get a dog and get them used to waking up at 5 a.m. because they will guilt you. You have to walk them. Have a great day. Go pet a dog. Love you guys. Bye.